I'm meteorologist Rick Schluterman. The snow we had early this morning is long gone, but this cold pattern continues. And what about more snow in the forecast? We'll check the numbers just ahead.
You need to keep yourself warm, but you also need to keep your pets warm. This here is Willow, a dog that was recently rescued from freezing conditions. We're catching up with Detroit pit crew who have been very busy.
A prominent Jewish leader murdered. Now new evidence being revealed in the case. I'm Camila Mary, a live report straight ahead.
Working for you. Fox 2 News at 5 starts now.
An Arctic blast bringing brutally cold temperatures to Metro Detroit. It looks beautiful out there, but definitely doesn't feel that great. This is a live look from our tower cam in Southfield.
It doesn't take long to feel the freeze out there. We're already seeing school closures for tomorrow. Keep an eye at the bottom of your screen for your district.
Things won't be warming up anytime soon, so let's check in with Rich Luterman for how long this frigid forecast will last.
It's going to be right into the weekend, Taryn and Roop. We did see some sunshine today, but this very cold pattern continues. You can see some lake effect snow out there close to Muskegon and Grand Rapids. Accumulating snow is well off to our east through parts of New England. Take a look at this wind chill advisory for tonight into Wednesday morning. Wind chill readings at times down to -20 for all of southeast Michigan. Here are the current readings. 8 degrees for us, 7 in Lansing, 14 in Port Huron. Here are those wind chill readings right now. -11s for Ann Arbor and Metro Airport, -10 around Howell. And some of these numbers are going to get lower as the evening wears on. So here's our forecast for tonight, down to 0. Once that sun goes down, temperatures will be falling off. Keep those pets inside, brisk and frigid through the overnight. And then take a look at what's coming next. Thursday and Friday, some light snowfall, but next week, a big pattern change. We're going to check those numbers for you coming up in 10. Roop and Taryn, back to you.
Well, this bitter cold is not only dangerous for people, but especially your pets.
A local dog rescue has just saved several pups from freezing cold weather out there. Fox 2's Scott Wolchek tells us what pet owners need to know.
Heartbreak, absolute heartbreak. Can you imagine the type of pain they're feeling, the sting of that cold out in Detroit? It's tough.
Dogs left outside in the freezing cold, desperate for warmth. Detroit pit crew swarmed with 90 calls yesterday alone about animals in need of rescue.
One we found curled up in the snow with literally icicles hanging over her.
This here is Willow, that dog that was seen curled up next to those icicles. Obviously, you can see that she's still a little startled, but she has warmed up and she's been evaluated here. She'll be looking for someone to adopt her in the future. This dog, Snow, was in rough shape when they found her. Teresa says many dogs are chained up or have no shelter.
Somebody more than likely dumped her. She has an eye injury. That's all urine scald.
For these animals, it's often a combination of deplorable conditions and the freezing, bitter cold. Potato and his sister were found on Detroit's east side.
Their relative had left the dogs behind to die. That person had moved to Texas, and these dogs were literally just living in a disgusting, dirty garage in these frigid temperatures. And so they did sign the dogs over to us, and we removed them and got them over here to a veterinary hospital.
These dogs will survive thanks to compassion, but Detroit pit crew is running out of space and they need foster homes. The moral of this story, sadly, it needs to be spelled out: bring your pets inside.
Bring your dogs inside. Even if your dogs are outside and they have shelter and they have straw, they have a jacket, some of these dogs are still being found dead. It is too cold outside for your animals. You must bring them inside.
You can text Detroit Pit Crew if you see an animal in need in Detroit. There is help. Scott Wolchek, Fox 2 News.
Now, well, the man accused of killing a Detroit synagogue leader was back in court today.
Prosecutors presented evidence in the case. Fox 2's Camille Amiri joins us live. And Camille, this must have been a tough day in court. What did you learn?
Yeah, well, it will continue also next week. They didn't get through all the witnesses, but let's talk about this case. Let's talk about what we learned today, really focusing on the timeline of this homicide. Take a look at some video. I know that everyone remembers this case. A very prominent Jewish leader, Samantha Wall, very beloved, found dead outside her condo on Joliet Place in Detroit on the early morning hours of October 21st of last year. She had attended a wedding, and we learned that her door, her security system, had been accessed. She never actually closed her front door, according to her security system records. That was never closed. We also learned that she sent a text to someone around 1:02 in the morning, and that her phone was last turned on around 1:29 and then shut off at 1:35. Another interesting point that was made was that there was motion detection somewhere in the living room around 4:20 a.m. Blood throughout the condo, especially in the hallway and the dining room area, the living room. Of course, she was found outside, and we actually got to hear from the neighbor who found her. Take a listen.
I was walking my friend's dog that I was dog sitting, and in the course of doing so, I discovered a body laying nearby on the sidewalk in the neighborhood. As I approached to see if that person was in need of assistance, then I realized that that person was in a very bad situation, and decided that I needed to go for help. As I got closer, I noticed that the person was barefoot, which was obviously of concern considering the time of day and the temperature. And as I inspected the scene, I could see that the individual appeared to be deceased.
He goes on to say that she was bluish, her skin was bluish in color and cold to the touch. So we want to talk about evidence as far as anything against the defendant, Michael Jackson Bolanos. And really the only thing that pointed to him as the suspect was evidence of video that they found of him in the area, but not actually at the condo itself. And a jacket, a North Face jacket, was taken into evidence that he was apparently wearing during that night, and there is blood on there that traces back. They've done blood samples that matches Samantha Wall's blood, and they say that that is a solid match, but really not pointing any fingers today, just really laying out the evidence, and today, of course, focusing on the timeline of this homicide. Of course, this will continue, this talking to 4 more witnesses next week, next Tuesday, and the defense says that he has video. The defense attorney says he has video that he is presenting that shows that his client was not at the scene. So interesting to see what will happen. Of course, this is a case that people have been following very closely. We will send it back to you in the studio.
And with that timeline that was revealed there in the report, it sounds like that that motion detector went off a few hours after she had been or come home from the wedding. Is it believed that he followed her home at this point, or was it just really a crime of opportunity, allegedly, that potentially because the door was open and he just went on in?
Yeah, good question. You know, everyone's trying to figure that out. He's tied to this because of basically larcenies in the area. No eyewitness that actually puts him at the scene that we've heard from. So yeah, she comes home from that wedding after midnight, and then there's motion detected, but just motion detected in the area. No cameras inside her house, just motion detected. So did he come in afterwards? Did he see her coming home from the wedding? It's so unclear. She was found around 6:20 in the morning from that neighbor who you heard from walking the dog. But I think a lot more of this will come out in the weeks to come. But right now, just really preliminary information. Of course, a preliminary exam at this point is what it's called. Yeah, Karen, back to you.
The hearing will continue, and then we'll find out if there is enough evidence to send him to trial. Thanks, Camille, for the update.
Yeah.
Well, a Flint man is accused of stealing money from a fundraiser for kids with disabilities. John Rowell allegedly walked into a bowling alley in Waterford Township earlier this month and stole a bag of cash and checks from a registration table. The Miracle League of Oakland County was hosting the event and had hundreds of dollars in cash and checks stolen. Police say Rowell confessed to the crime and the bag was found in his motel room. He's currently on parole and has a long criminal history dating back to 2001.
An update on the Michigan State Police trooper involved in a crash while on duty last week. MSP says he is still in the hospital and is in stable condition. The trooper's injuries were more serious than first thought. On January 10th, the trooper had pulled over a suspected drunk driver on 75 near Clarkston. That's when a 16-year-old who fell asleep behind the wheel slammed into his police cruiser. The teen was arrested for reckless driving.